Hi, my name is Chris Skordahl with KAISERComm, and today we're going to be giving you an overview of the Avaya 9504 and Avaya 9508 digital phone for Avaya IP Office. The Avaya 9504 and 9508 phones are very feature-rich phones within the SME market. Both phones have LCD screens, with the main difference between the 9504 and 9508 would be the amount of buttons. The 04 has 4 buttons on the main screen with 3 pages. The 08, 8 buttons with 3 pages. Both phones have headset jacks for wired headsets and can handle wireless headsets as well. The 9508 also has a modular plug for expansion to 3 additional busy lamp fields. Both phones have removable stands that you can change to your preference. So if you prefer the phone that's lying more flat to the ground, you can change that to your style. Both phones have programmable soft keys. Again, we're looking at the 9508, so we have 8 buttons on the main page. If I arrow over, I can see the second page, arrow over again for the third. One more arrow will bring me back to my main page. There are 4 soft keys that basically change with whatever you're doing. Right now the phone is idle, so you can see the redial and features button. As soon as a call comes in, our 4 soft keys change to answer, send to voicemail, ignore, and drop. As soon as a call is initiated and you're on the call, those buttons will change again to hold, conference, transfer, and drop, allowing for fewer buttons on the phone and a heads-up display of what you can do while on the phone or sitting idle. Other buttons would include our phone button, which will bring you back to the main page with any window you're currently in. So let's just hit features, get down to some option, and you want to bring it back to the main page. Simply press your phone button and it'll take you back. The message button will bring you into what we call visual voicemail to check voicemail messages, change your greeting, change your passcode, and other voicemail settings. Other buttons, which we call hard buttons on the phone, we have a contacts button. From here I can see everybody from my personal and external list, which is a system-wide directory, a user list, which is all of my users on the system, as well as our groups. If you can see right now, we're looking at contacts all. One arrow click to the right will bring us to our personal, and we can have up to 100 personal contacts on each phone. Another arrow click will bring us to an external list, which again is a system list that has up to 1,000 users that are shared on every phone on the system. I arrow over again, I go to my users on the actual phone system itself. Again, to bring it back to the main screen, simply press the phone button. I also have a history button, and as you can tell, it's currently lit up red, which would indicate a missed call. Hitting the history button is going to bring up my missed calls. As soon as I call that person back, and all I'd have to do is lift up the handset or press call to call on speakerphone, it will simply call the missed call, whether it's inside or an external call. My red light now disappears. If I click the history button now, it brings me to my history all page. Much like contacts, I can arrow to the right or to the left. I can also arrow down. So history all is going to show everything, missed calls, outgoing, as well as incoming calls. Arrow to the right, it now shows no missed calls. To the right again, shows my incoming calls, displaying the time as well as the caller ID information or user on the system. Again, I arrow over to see my outgoing calls, which would be the exact same as my redial button on my main page. Simply press the phone button again to return to the main page. And again, my redial button will be here on the bottom left. Other buttons on the phone, my home is basically a menu that will go through all the settings. Other than that, the key buttons for you to use would be our volume, which is very intuitive. While sitting idle, it is our ringing volume. If I pick up the handset, it's our handset volume. When on speakerphone, It's our speakerphone volume. When on a call, whether it's speakerphone or on the handset, I can simply press the mute button to mute the call. Again, to go on speakerphone, I can simply press the speakerphone, and I can transfer back and forth from the handset to speakerphone. For those who use handsets, much the same for the headset button. If you're on speaker, you can then transfer to headset and back to the handset.